Hello YouTube, Film Buff 06 here. I'm just going to do a short review slash rant on the low budget British disaster movie simply titled Flood, which was made in 2007, was directed by this guy whom I've never even heard of, called Tony Mitchell, and was based on this book by Richard Doyle, and it features Robert Carlyle, whom you might know from Trainspotting, Jessalyn Gilsig, who used to be in Heroes and Prison Break, Tom Courtenay, Poirot himself, David Suchet, and Ralph Brown, who you probably might know for portraying Chris Finch in the British version of The Office, as well as David Hayman from Law and Order UK. Now the plot to this movie I'm just not going to describe in my own words, so I'm just going to describe it by using the blurb on the back of this DVD, which reads like this: timely yet terrifying, flood predicts the unthinkable. Could this be the capital's last 24 hours? When a raging storm coincides with high tide, it unleashes a colossal tidal surge which travels mercilessly down England's east coast and into the River Thames. Overwhelming the barrier, torrents of water pour into London, like we've seen that before. The lives of millions of people are at stake. Top marine engineer Rob Morrison, played by Robert Carlyle, of course, who was also a Bond villain in The World Is Not Enough, and his father Leonard, played of course by Tom Courtenay, rushed to the aid of his ex-wife and barrier expert Sam, played by Jessalyn Gilsig, to try to save a city on the brink of annihilation. Now, and that sums up the plot of this movie. Now, just what did I think of Flood? This was just such a waste of time. I watched this just this afternoon. I mean, I think early this afternoon, and I was so freaking bored by this film. I mean, the script is drivelsomely written. The direction is not all that good. The direction is not all that good. All of the actors that are involved in this completely just phone in their performances. The editing is not all that good. The music just gets generic and repetitive after a while. The characters are not all that interesting, and you don't give You don't give 2, no, scratch that, 3 shits about them. Just everything. The pacing is pretty bad. I mean, for a movie that lasts for approximately 107 minutes, it is just painfully boring, and there's just nothing happening in the entire movie, except for political bullshit that doesn't seem to make any sense, by the way. And it's sort of the same. It's sort of kind of almost the same boring ass political bullshit that George Lucas was consumed by when he wrote the Star Wars prequels. Now, and another thing that pisses me off about this film is that on the cover there, you see London being incredibly flooded, but we don't actually get to see the flood until about half an hour into the start to see the flood until about half an hour into the movie, which is damn disappointing. Which is damn disappointing. What else? And another thing, and worse, another thing that really pisses me off about this film is just like with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie, the talent that they've lured in to appear in this crap. I mean, Robert Carlyle, he desperately attempts doing a Cockney accent, trying to mimic David Tennant when he portrayed the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who, but it ends up being almost as hilarious as Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent from Mary Poppins. Jessalyn Gilsig, she's just nothing to. She just isn't that known of an American TV actress, to be quite honest. I haven't seen Heroes or Prison Break, but I think I've heard some really decent things about both shows. Tom Courtenay, I don't know what films he has been in. He probably might have been in Mission Impossible 2, which I have seen. But other than that, don't know that many films he's appeared in. And I absolutely loved David Suchet as Poirot, but in this, he is completely wasted. He is completely wasted in his role. But the casting choice that leaves me but the casting choice that really does piss me off is that Tom Hardy is in this movie. And I'm not making this up. They actually for some reason decided to cast Bane from The Dark Knight Rises himself in this movie. Just why? Plus the role they cast him in was just pointless. It was a total waste of his talent. I wish I'd go into much more detail about this movie, but I'm just not going to give it the time of day. The time of day. Plus another thing before I forget is that this is quite clear that you can tell from the cover art that this is a low budget rip-off of the many American disaster movies that have been made in the past, like i.e., to name a few, Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, and Day After Tomorrow, which are marginally much more better than this crap ever would be. Again, I wish I'd go on for days about how bad this movie was, about how boring this film was. But I'm just not going to give it the time of day, and I'm just going to give Flood the lowest possible rating that I possibly can, which is a 0 out of 10. Yeah, 0 out of 10. And just all that is left to say is Flood the movie. Just fuck you and go to hell. Now, feel free to leave a comment in the section below and let me know your thoughts on this film. Plus, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And until my next video, which is going to be a review of this film titled Mad City, which stars Dustin Hoffman and John Travolta. Do take care, everyone, and good night.